In this exercise, we're going to combine our first and second pass along with the third pass, and we're going to do so inside the confines of a gradient mask. I've saved my progress as thirdpassmask.psd. It's found inside the 04 Tough folder. And currently, we're looking at the combined first and second masks. Compare those to the third mask, and notice that things brighten up in this region right there. We get some better detail essentially going around this product-treated hair. So in other words, we have a few hairs that are glommed together. From about this point on, the hairs are just too thick inside of the third pass, where they look much more natural inside of the combined first and second pass. What we want to do is we want to gradually dissipate the merging of these two channels over the course of this area, which means that we want to create a gradient. To do so, go ahead and drop down to the little page icon at the bottom of the channels panel, Alt-click or Option-click on it in order to bring up the new channel dialog box. Let's go ahead and call this guy Gradient and click OK. Now it's going to come in as solid black at first. I want you to turn on the first and second channel as well so that you can see through one channel to the other so we can keep track of what we're doing. Go ahead and grab the Gradient tool, which you can get by pressing the G key. Make sure that the very first gradient option is selected, which is foreground to background. And also make sure that your foreground color is white and your background color is black. If you've got the opposite, then just press the X key. And I want you to drag from this point here, notice the top of this little glom of hair. I want you to drag upward like so while pressing the Shift key to this location. And then go ahead and release. To give you a sense of what the gradient looks like, I'll go ahead and turn off the first and second channel once again. So we've got white down at the bottom and black up at the top. That means that we'll merge the two channels together down here at the bottom. We will not merge them at the top, and we will create a soft transition in the area in between. The next step is to click on the first and second channel to make it active. That's very important, by the way. It expedites the process. Now I'm going to switch to the rectangular marquee tool, and then I'll go up to the image menu and choose the calculations command. By default, you should see both source 1 and source 2 set to the foreground image, which is third pass mask in my case. The layers don't matter because we're not working from the color channels anymore. We're working from the alpha channels, which are layer independent. However, the channel options are very important. Notice in my case, they're both by default set to first and second. That's okay for source 2 because it's the base channel. However, for source 1, because we're placing it inside of this gradient mask, you need to change that channel setting to third pass. Next, what we need to do is add them together. That's just fine. And the offset value should be 0 and the scale should be 1. We need to turn on the mask checkbox. Make sure that the image is set to the right image. For some reason, this option frequently likes to look to the other image that's open, which in my case is Woman and Castle. I'm going to switch it back to third pass mask, which is the foreground image. And then the channel should be that final channel, Gradient. So we're essentially merging these two channels together subject to the add mode down here in the lower region of the image. Up toward the top of the image, there is no merge. And we're seeing through to the source 2 channel, which is the combined first and second pass. Now, assuming that you're seeing the same thing on your screen that I'm seeing on mine, go ahead and click the OK button in order to create that new channel. And I'll go ahead and call this one first plus second plus third to indicate that we have now merged every single one of our 3 passes. We finally have a base for our mask. In the next exercise, we'll apply some much-needed selective modifications.